But let's continue the discussion forward on Siemens, right? The Siemens India's demerger has been announced as well. Now, obviously, this is mainly of the energy business that they are saying that they will be demerging as per the proposal by the promoters. And Siemens India's energy business as of now contributes around 35% nearly. But to understand more on that, let's bring on board Renu Baid, Senior Vice President at IIFL Institutional Equities. Renu, good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining in with us. First just help us understand, what this actually means in terms of the demerger. How does this construct actually stand out for Siemens?
Sure. Thanks. Good afternoon, everyone. If you look at the Siemens India business today, it includes Siemens Energy, which is a separately identified segment, and the rest of the other businesses. So while Siemens Energy globally got listed, in India, the energy vertical or the gas and power vertical continued to remain a part of the listed entity, against which 24% equity stake of the listed company was given to Siemens Energy and 51% was retained by Siemens AG. So given the current state of affairs at Siemens Energy globally, which is in a cash-strapped situation, what they have done is there are two layers of announcements. First, they will be selling 18% of their holding in the listed company to Siemens AG. So it will be more of an inter-promoter group entity transactions, not much coming on the open market, at 15% discount to the price, whatever has been arranged, has been finalized based on the requirements of the exchanges and SEBI there. Second, what they have announced is there would be demerger of Siemens India business, essentially into gas and power, which is the energy vertical, and the rest of the other businesses, the way it is globally today. And they have outlined that over a period of 5 years, Siemens Energy will increase its stake again to majority stake in the gas and power business. So point number one, the announcement mentions of demerger. So it would be more, in our view, a legal entity demerger. Currently, internally, whatever we understand, the energy vertical operates as a separate business unit. The employees, operations are all tagged differently, and they are all clubbed with Siemens Energy. But within the listed company, they are operating as one entity, the way we investors look at the business. So it would be more of a legal demerger process, and maybe internally they have outlined December 25 as a timeline. But what the announcement misses to mention is it only a demerger or is it a demerger and listing? So there's a difference between both the announcements. If it's only a demerger, it could be possible that Siemens Energy will remain unlisted as a vertical or a subsidiary of Siemens Energy, Siemens India Limited, and will operate independently. And over a period of 5 years, as and when Siemens Energy, which is a global parent, it acquires a majority stake in this business, it may or may not get listed. So there is no clarity whether the energy vertical will get listed post-demerger, the way it happened in the case of ABB, that the power grids vertical was demerged and listed separately as Hitachi Energy. So only demerger itself, maybe it keeps the liabilities or the risk for the rest of the Siemens portfolio separate, which is positive. But will it get listed and create wealth for minority holders in India? It's too early to take a call on that. I think we need to wait and watch for announcements to unfold. And even if it happens, the listing, if it happens, it would be over a period of 3 to 4 years. So they have outlined a 5-year period when Siemens Energy gains a majority stake. And in our view, only once they gain majority stake, they would like to list the company and not with a minority stake, unless there is a strategic sale of the business to a third party, which is too early to speculate at this point in time.
So, Renu, for neatly articulating and kind of putting it into picture and different buckets as to how you see the transaction. So, very important takeaway being, there's a bit of indication that they're looking at demerger of the entity, but the timeline of listing of it, which could perhaps be the, value unlocking mechanism for investors, is not out yet. So, we don't know whether it will be listed or not. That's important. But, Renu, just coming back to the Indian transaction then, we saw 4% up move on the stock. It's now cooled off to around 2.5%, probably on the reason that you mentioned about the listing phenomenon. But talk to us about, does it change anything for the business of Siemens India in any fashion? And is there anything else that the investors should watch out for going forward? Because I think there was a bit of worry whether there'll be a block transaction, whether it will happen at a huge discount or not. 15% discount has already happened. Is there anything else that the investors should watch out for now?
I think at the onset, the early uptrade in the move in the stock was a reflection of that it was only a 15% discount. Market was speculating it could be a discount anywhere between 25 to even 35-40%. So addressing those concerns, we did see some relief in the stock today. But does it impact Siemens India's operations or the operations of both the entities or the verticals in India? We don't think so. There's no direct impact in the near term. But there could be second layer and second tier impact in terms of when they're bidding for large projects like HVDC, and there is requirement for parent guarantees, etc. They will be secured, but how would be the global parent supportive in terms of availability of capacities, the bid aggressions? So it's a very dynamic situation. Though in my view, near term, we don't see any material impact. But we'll have to see how the bailout process happens in Germany for Siemens Energy. And if that relatively happens in a much more smoother fashion, then we don't see material impact on the businesses in India.
Thank you so much for that, for giving us those exact details on what we should be expecting as well, and how it affects us as well in the Indian markets.